In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had two opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock. He and his wife Alva for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought we people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
30 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher, the idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. We had a great time.
In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had two opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock. He and his wife Alva for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, We organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
20 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher. The idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. And you had a great time.
In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had 2 opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock. He and his wife Alva for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought, well, we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
20 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher. The idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. And you had a great time.
In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had 2 opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock, he and his wife Alva, for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought, well, we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
30 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher, the idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. And you had a great time.
In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had 2 opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock, he and his wife Alva, for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic 80s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought, well, we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
30 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher, the idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. And you had a great time.
In 1986, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after M.O. Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Aldine High School.
When I graduated from college, we had two opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock, he and his wife Alva, for pizza and get to know each other. Well, we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought, well, we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Aldine High School won the state championship.
30 yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher, the idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. And you had a great time.
After M.O. Campbell retired, Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967.
The wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour, and it was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Aldine. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Aldine High School, at 7 o'clock. He and his wife Alva for pizza and get to know each other. And we rolled in there at 9:30. The pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm.
That's why I said the first time they couldn't prove it.
A great time.
The changing demographic profile in the 1980s transformed Aldine by 1990. The once white majority semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Aldine resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams, with each high school having a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD
Sure. Check, 1, 2, test, 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 1, 2, check. If you can hear me on the other end, can you tell Cirillo on the phone that you can hear me? Test, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, test. He can't hear you. He can't hear nothing? Into the mic, check, 1, 2, test. Anything, test, test, 1, 2. Okay, so if he can hear them in the room, he's definitely getting Wi-Fi. Okay, all right. We're good.
No, just put it right here on the speaker. Midnight hour. Where's Domino's? Right here. Past the middle. The other one. Oh, yeah, that's the southern, correct. I always mess up. Rose and Brick and Bourgeois. No, wait, Ogden's next to, yeah. Ogden's next to Sunny, right, on this side? I mean, Obelix. Rose. Ogden. Ogden. Bourgeois. Briggs. Right.
Really? I can put like I can put pictures of my kids, future grandkids, and all that. Does this where Calvin is sitting over here?
Yes.
Do you need this end seat so you can be available for stuff?
No, I think I'm just gonna
Take the corner?
take the corner.
I'm gonna put my stuff right there, so I have as best a view as I can. That podium's gonna be all up in my space.
Yep. Oh, no.
Baker building, most of classrooms. Everything is all in place.
Board named MB Sunny
That's
Donaldson.
360. That's 180. The one back there is 182.
Okay, that's long now.
Yeah, you got to film the board meeting.
real quick, can you show me the timer? I have to put the timer in that picture that I'm showing. I'm gonna see me anyways. Here. You get 2 minutes? There it goes. So just leave it up.
Now every time you go to that, it'll be 3 minutes.
So the timer probably go off. So I get 2 minutes and then kill it. No.
You go.
It starts automatically.
I know, you get started.
Oh, start. Yes, sir? On the conference room? Are you sure you're able to get to the internet though?
I'm gonna make one.
Okay, Dan, hold on, I said go to the conference room. Are you the conference room?
Yeah, I'm over there, there's nothing I want.
Yeah, well, Dan, hold on. On the B. Yes, sir?
Gonna go for lunch on Friday. Judy's birthday. Judy's.
Judy, okay. Yeah, invite out.
No, just you coming.
No, yeah. That's what we go. That'd be funny, I show it off, man. Oh, yeah, it's gotta be perfect.
So, where are you gonna be sitting?
Here, and I'm gonna bring the tablet, iPad.
Dash, yeah.
I might have that just tomorrow.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is, sit just next to you. If I need to do a change, I can just walk into the spot. No. My computer will be there in case I need it. I'll be here. If you want to change something, I can just go inside and change. Because if I'm all the way inside the closet, you won't be able to tell me what's the problem.
Right. It's protecting, but there's no way different. Yeah, I just tested the fluence.
Okay, then I decided if we have that, then we should be good to go.
I'm just leaving it charging here, and so we put it back right the way it was. The timer.
Yeah, just the time.
So whenever they're gonna present with the projector, the trick is do the screens first. And remember, do the projector. It starts doing that little cycle thing.
That's when you're going to turn them on. You're going to turn them on. It's always the reactor for always.
No, because remember it's gonna do that. It takes forever. So I gotta still do this. I better do the screens first.
Well, in the meantime, the board members, they're going to be with the light in their head, in their eyes.
No, because the screens are first. And then the projector trying so the to the
Okay, yeah. So
the screen first.
no matter what, then no matter what.
Remember you said it goes through the cycle.
Yeah. No matter what, the screen first. So this is going to be. You have the video. What they're going to use with that video playing over and over and over.
I'm just doing it now. So I'm gonna stop it. And then I have just a PowerPoint. So and everything's
And that's
going.
with audio or just a video?
Just the video.
Okay. And in the meantime, we will get all the audio.
Okay. And I'm gonna do of course a TP report. And I'm gonna put a flash drive. I'll be able to put it over there.
You can record it locally because the unit itself has its own local SD card. No, the local, the one that says local, it has a SD card.
Oh, so we're gonna be using it?
Yeah, we can send it right now.
Okay, y'all do that.
In the future, if you want to give me a birthday card, a sidetrack,
Beautiful.
Yes.
Amazing. Really pretty.
And then then YouTube is really big, you know, it holds it for a little bit on the.
the YouTube one, you can hold it forever.
Well, we started it for Mr. Kaplan, does it for Davis High School. And his, he says they were removed.
So can I sit me?
Yeah.
I haven't got a drink.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is like, so he says, man, he says to me, to save it somewhere else, give you to put it.
Have a local. You have a copy.
And then they're going to buy the report then. When they start moving, y'all come up and you get in position right here. Okay?
Songs aren't back to back, right? Okay, that's back. Okay.
So the alternators, if y'all would come get in position, please. This is how they sound to us in this position.
Yes.
So this is where you'll be. And what's gonna happen is Mr. Ogden, as the color guard will divide, you will come up and stand here. Mr. Ogden will lead the assembly in the Pledge of Allegiance and the pledge to the Texas flag. Immediately, when he says the last word to the Texas flag, you start singing. Got it? You wanna go over it right now real quickly?
I get to look at this. Okay. Okay. You just like 50 times. Let's go back to the old saying, that's the straight put down. Jose, ready? Jose, and sing. So begin. Here we go. I will say ready, stop.
Okay. Okay, yes.
National anthem is done, go to post, and we'll make our exit out.
Okay, so, yeah, so you come in, and then post, national anthem's gonna come, they're gonna sing, and then, see what's here, let me make sure I'm telling you correctly.
Are you guys from Davis?
Okay, you have it too?
Are you from Davis? Okay.
The colors stand attention, does the pledge of allegiance, then the national anthem, and then after that,
And make sure y'all can go up with your arm.
so I'm gonna start it off and y'all gonna be outside, right there.
Oh,
And
be
then,
careful, we're trying to each
and now please join us,
Ribbon,
stand for the
ribbon,
presentation of colors, pledge of allegiance, and pledge of
Okay, so once you say, once we hear you say, once they hear you say thank you, they will
Thank you.
be ready to come in. So if you say now, they'll wait. Okay? Oh, that's right.
Do they wanna?
I will work with it all if you need to.
What's wrong with that flag?
Okay, that's fine. You got time.
I just need to make sure I have somebody here on my list to recognize.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
A.W. Jones, I don't think he's here. Okay. I need to add somebody.
Okay, ready? That's what I'm scared of.
All right,
Who were you about to be?
no, you're like this. Okay, you guys gonna probably have to bring them down, because we're gonna come into.
Oh, no, we're gonna march him down.
Okay, we gotta do a run through here, we gotta do a couple runs through.
All right, go ahead.
All right,
You're good.
all right, so, get your back to the seat.
Once that's done.
Go down. Okay? Yeah. What we're gonna do is we're gonna walk over together at, doors. I'm not on this one, on the back. Go right there. Face out. We're gonna do just live right now. We're gonna do just live right now. 5 steps. Okay, ready?
Good, you're gonna hear him say, thank you for inviting. Now, you're now, that is your.
Alright. Oh, okay, stop, hold on. Once you get here, you're gonna pivot. Oh, who's on top? Who's in front of her?
Put that outside. Okay.
You're behind me.
Just guide it, just basically guide.
Yeah,
You're gonna be in the front.
I'm not gonna be in the front. How am I gonna be in the front? Yeah, you are.
You are. You're in the front. It's Joe. It's Joe first.
You're
You.
in the back.
Okay, switch.
Okay?
So Joe, come here.
Go back.
Go back.
Go back out.
Come on,
So
Joe.
as you hit here, Joe?
Yeah, just pivot.
So as you here, pivot, go 45.
Make sure-
45 right here.
No, do more, because they're gonna dip.
Right here.
Yeah,
Pivot.
and then mark time right there.
Right here. Okay? Alright, so, wait, and then we're gonna post this way, right? You're posting to them.
Okay.
On left, right, left.
One. We're
And
gonna
switch. Henry!
Okay. Right now.
You guys put your,
Count
Henry!
to the left.
Henry!
One more time.
You're coming in front. As soon as you get here, okay? Pivot 45. So as you hit this angle, hit 45. Mark time. Halt. Post. Reach 10. Got it?
So everybody line up for
All right, let's try this out real quick. You got that much time, so I got about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, here. Here. All right, you're behind, you're back.
That's right.
Oh, you're right.
All right, did you hear, thank you very much? Did you hear?
Now, I know.
You got to what, very good work.
Yeah, rock right.
Thank you very much. And now.
Oh, Are we good? Are we centered?
Yes.
I'm making sure we're good.
Good.
Okay. Others. And on.
Okay, be
Why
mindful.
can't you?
Hey,
Can
be-
you
okay.
twist yours out or no?
Right, right. Be mindful.
Okay, we'll twist yours out. Because you're supposed to do the same height as me.
Go a little deeper.
That's all I was saying.
So come in about this chair. Secretary? Yeah, and then come and pivot right here. And then just stop here, because you're going to probably have somebody here. Okay? And then that post, so we all
Yeah.
leave.
Okay.
Go, this guy,
Oh,
and then
sorry.
go out the door. Okay? All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Okay, well, you have to hold the flag down. That's the only part where it comes off. It doesn't come off in the front. And if it comes off in the front, it comes off right here. We're gonna be on camera. So we're gonna have it come in the front.
Some of them go that way when it's nice colors. All of it is gotta run to the restroom. So, what they told me was that two would go that way, three would go that way. And as they're moving, our Star Spangled Banner, some people were not. Star Spangled Banner.
And then
Hold it open now.
Thanks
to be saying, she made sure we did.
She just dug that money out of it.
I know.
So right after I walk up, she asked me how you're gonna be when you walk up. So
Get into here.
she's they're gonna stand here, here, and here, if that's all right.
But when we did, they're gonna have to speak up for the height.
I think y'all need to be careful to not hit them because they're gonna have their backs to you. And they're gonna be.
Are they already gonna be presented and walk in? Or are they gonna be standing right there and then we walk in?
I think if y'all stand right there and then they walk in.
Yeah.
Dip,
Then
dip, dip
And then
your
you
legs.
can dip.
Go up, go up, go up, go
Present.
up, go up, go up, go up, go up.
Just dip.
Yeah,
All right, stop.
but
All right, you don't have to dip so much. Just, okay, for this purposes, we're only gonna go up to there, right? Right there.
Perfect.
No more. That way it allows the others to come in and they can position themselves in front.
Thank you.
For you, I want you to stop about right here. That slide down, slide down, slide down. Stop right there, that puts your head center of the room. Okay? All right, so, let's do this one more time.
down. Go.
Let's talk about this.
Where's your teeth at?
I'm waiting for the right moment.
He's not making anybody else do this at all.
I guess we're supposed to line up back here.
Yeah, I guess the line here is about to get the case here.
Oh, you can go here. Okay. All right. Well, now since Dad was looking for it. Okay. I thought you were. What? I thought you was Nelson
She's new. I'm not new one. I've been here since 2008. So I've been here 8 years. And I'm not one of the two. I came in 2000. I got water in my house, you can see where it goes. It's very interesting. I did, just the message.
Oh, for the board meeting? Oh.
I was on the phone at 6.
No, because, you know, I'm looking on here.
Just got it done. They opened up Sorry. Yes, nice.
In 1981.
Is it a big one?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the dedication of the Sonny Donaldson Administration Building. My name is Abel Garza, Assistant Superintendent of Colonial and Government Relations. Tonight is a momentous occasion for our school district because we dedicate this building in recognition of Mr. Donaldson's leadership and service. Thank you for attending. Now please join us and stand for the presentation of colors, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Pledge to the Texas flag.
Join the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the Pledge of Allegiance to the Texas flag. Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early eyes, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose was stripes and bright stars through the pavement of spice, what the world was we was so gallantly streaming on the rocket's red red of us perceiving there. It grew through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, was that so spangled banner in the train?
Now please have a seat. So I'm going to acknowledge first our Albany School Board members. With Rose Ellery, Board President. Rick Ogden, Vice President. Patricia Ann Boudreau, Secretary. Mary Ruggs Sr., Assistant Secretary. Steve Reed, Board Member. One of our board members is not present at this time, Mr. Paul Shanklin. Dr. Marla Garcia, board member. And our guest of honor, Mr. L.D. Sonny Donaldson. Now I'm going to introduce our superintendent, Dr. Rhonda Bamberg. Members of her cabinet, Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Archie Benson. Dr. Simona Chapa, Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. Anna Vasan, Assistant Superintendent of Finance. Kay DeWalt, Assistant Superintendent, General Counsel. Ken Calippo, Assistant Superintendent of Administration. Dr. Sarah Tola, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction. Dr. Todd Davis, School Assistant Superintendent of High Schools. Mabel Holt, School Assistant Superintendent of Middle Schools. Ann Stockburn, School Assistant Superintendent of Intermediate Schools. Pat Wright, School Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools. Mr. Mario Rodriguez, School Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools. And Dr. John Ray, School Assistant Superintendent of Elementary Schools. Now, at this time, I want to acknowledge our special guest, Suzanne Donaldson, wife of Sonny Donaldson. I thought I'd do that for you, so you wouldn't. Representing Gene Lark, Harris County Commissioner Precinct 1, Colin Yates, John Boberlin. To give me the hard stuff. Representing Lone Star College, Dr. Jerry Napolis and Cece Sigfund. We also want to recognize former board members and retired central office staff joining us tonight. Former Superintendent W.W. Thorne and his wife, Iris Thorne. Former Superintendent Nadia Majara. Former board member Leonard and his wife Glenda Marcella. Former board member Dr. Alton Smith. Former board member A.W. Jones. Jay Young, I think he's here. It's here. Maybe he sneaked out for a little bit. Alan Joyce Lyons. Betty Stubblefield. I knew I saw her. And my crawfish eating partner, Mr. Bill Plummer. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, who did I forget? I'm sorry. Did I forget? I'm sorry. Former board member Gloria Escamilla. I'm sorry. Apologize. I knew I wasn't going to get it all right, so that was my own fault, so we'll get fine. So thank you for joining us. Emily Sonny was superintendent from 1996 to 2001. And in celebration of the school district's 80th anniversary, we prepared a video of Mr. Donaldson as he reflects on his time with Aldine. We would like to present that video to you now. It's so painful to get seats at the theater. We've been told it takes approximately 1 minute, not a second more than that. So, hope your timer is on. Here we go.
1996, the board named M.B. Sonny Donaldson as superintendent after Emma Campbell retired. Mr. Donaldson's career began in 1967 as a teacher and coach at Albany High School.
When I graduated from college, we had two opportunities. One was up in Hereford, Texas, and we went up there in April, and the wind was blowing about 40 miles an hour. It was about 50 degrees, and my wife said, well, what's the other choice? And I said, well, it's in Albany. She said, where's that? I said, it's in Houston, or outside of Houston at the time. And she said, well, let's go take a look. And the first visit here, I won't forget, we got caught in traffic on I-45. We were supposed to meet Jimmy Haley, who was the principal at Albany High School, at 7 o'clock. He and his wife Alva for pizza and get to know each other. When we got in there at 9:30, the pizza was cold, but the welcoming was warm. And it was a great time.
The changing demographic profile that began in the 1980s transformed Albany by 1990. The once white majority, semi-rural area was gone. It had become a minority-majority urban community. In 1990, the average Albany resident was Hispanic. With this change, the district's bilingual program grew rapidly.
In order to continue that educational growth in our students from pre-kindergarten through graduation, we organized the district around vertical teams where each high school had a middle school, elementary schools. And when we looked at that for the first couple of years, we thought we needed to go further. And we added pre-kindergarten centers because of the large number of limited English-speaking people that were moving into our school district. And we couldn't have done this without the vision of the board and the buy-in from the community. And I think the community supported us in a tremendous way.
The plan worked. AISD earned 7 recognized ratings from the state between 1996 and 2003. Football fans celebrate big in 1990.
Albany High School won the state championship.
Yards to go. He'll pick it up. He'll get into the end zone, and Aldine will strike with a huge touchdown.
Mr. Donaldson retired as superintendent in June of 2001 after 34 years in the district.
It's just a great place to work. You know, you come here as a 23-year-old first-year teacher. The idea you're going to stay a couple of years and get some experience and go back to the country. And all of a sudden you wake up, it's 2001. We had a great time.
He has to reach ones from the rich man's table. I love to shout, I love to sing. I love to raise my heavenly King.
As president of the Board of Trustees for the Aldine Independent School District, it is my honor to accept this building and its name, M.B. Sonny Donaldson Administration Building. your 35 years career as an Alden educator, and certainly your work as superintendent from 1986 to 2001 should be recognized and remembered for your dedication to the students and staff of the district. Your role as a leader is honored through the leadership that will carry out district work in these two remodeled buildings. Some features of the two-building facility include 55,000 square feet. It houses 200 employees. There are 325 parking spaces, including designated spaces for visitors and community members. There are 3 training rooms, including one computer lab, a boardroom which now holds 156 people compared to 80 in the old boardroom. We have an air-conditioned warehouse in a separate facility for storage for this building. There are 12 meeting rooms with video conferencing systems and touch-screen TVs. There's a studio for audio and video work. There's a video monitoring and security system with ID card access. Most of all, there's Sunny's Cafe, where employees and building visitors will have the opportunity to purchase breakfast, lunch, and snacks. We also have a web-based marquee system. This facility takes our work into the next chapter of Alden ISD, using the lessons of the past to continue the work for the future. Usually in a dedication ceremony, we unveil the honoree's portrait to hang in the new facility. Your portrait has been hanging in the former central office, so today we have unveiled a wall outside this boardroom that is a tribute to you. It includes your portrait. A reminder, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is the students in the Alden classrooms. A personal note for me, I will always be thankful for the opportunity that you gave me to become a leader of the high school. We dedicate this building to your work and your legacy in Alden. Thank you for your service.
Wanda nodded and said, "It's my turn now." I like that picture better than that other picture. If I can substitute that in that video. Yeah, I'll tell you, age takes a toll on your memory, but I look around this room and I see a lot of familiar faces, and those of you that I can recall your names, that's good, and those that I can't, I apologize for that because you're just as special. None of this could have been possible if it hadn't been for the leadership of the Board of Education, and I want to thank them very much for that. To the board members that are sitting out in the audience, just the tremendous work that you've done for the children of Alden. And I've heard people say that the last great patriots of our American society are those that serve unselfishly, without pay, for a cause that's greater than themselves. So I thank you for your service. And I remember the first time that I went to a meeting in, Wanda, how long? You said 15 minutes?
I said 25.
I guess some more surf up there. First time we went to San Antonio, and one of our board members that's not with us any longer, Mr. Stovall and Larry Eckert, I was carrying them to a summer leadership meeting, and I saw the hotel where we were supposed to be, but I couldn't get there. I had never driven in San Antonio before, and I kept circling and circling and circling, and after about 30 minutes, Mr. Stovall, or what seemed like 30 minutes, said, "Son, if we don't find a gas station, we're going to run out of gas." And I said, "I think I got it down, Mr. Stovall. We're going to make a right turn and get to the hotel." But I'll tell you, the trust and the support that board members had and our staff was tremendous, and it allowed us to do some very creative things and take calculated risks, not risks that we didn't know we couldn't determine the outcome. But when you take a risk, you need to have calculations of what the outcome is going to be, because we're dealing with some of the most precious commodities that we have, and that's our children, and we can't afford to go off the deep end. You know, I mentioned Mr. Hurley in the video. Well, there's another gentleman sitting in this audience, and I can't ever go to a meeting and associate with Aldine and not refer to him as Mr. Aldine, because our school district was literally broke in 1958, and Bill Thorne saved it with the help of the community, and forever grateful for those stories that I hear, that the sacrifices that the community made and that Bill made. And I kind of put him up on a pedestal as far as I was concerned, until I went to the first secretary's gathering. I forget, in the spring of the year, and that was Bill Thorne dressed like a clown. You know, Mr. Aldine just kind of shattered my image of him. But I want to tell you, he was a top-notch leader. He's a top-notch leader, one that Lone Star College, formerly North Harris County Montgomery College, can take their head off to. And these guys like him and some other people that I'm going to mention that, you know, kind of kept my gas tank full of gas and my motor running for service to this community. And when I became an assistant principal, I went in, I knew Jim Smith because I'd worked for him, and he said, well, I want to give you your tools that you're going to need. And I said, okay. And, you know, I had my pencil and paper and pen, and I was, you know, going to be an assistant principal. And here comes a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, a crescent wrench, and he said, put those right in your back pocket. He said, you're going to need those. I said, okay. He took me down to the bathroom and showed me how to stop the commodes from running and various things. And, you know, we were into technology back in those days. You know, Baker 19, you remember that? We had walkie-talkies that we could communicate with the central office. I don't believe I could do it today, Wanda. I'd have to call Mark when I reprogram my watch. But some good days, and then fortunate enough that 1986, the board selected me as superintendent to replace Emil Campbell, a guy that I really learned a lot from. Mr. Campbell, he didn't speak a whole lot. He didn't use a lot of adjectives and adverbs. It was mostly nouns and verbs. And when he talked, you listened. And one of the first things I did was I said, Mr. Campbell, I know that the board had said, you know, we want to have a pretty good athletic program. This 2 and 8 and 1 and 9, we can't handle that. And I said, Mr. Campbell, I got just the man for you. He said, who is that? You haven't been on the job for... I said, I got just the man. He said, who is that? I said, Bill Smith. Bill Smith, he's not even coaching anymore. I said, well, I tell you what, he can turn this thing around. And he said, well, your office is at the front door, and the next door is out. And he says, 2, maybe 3 years. That's it. I said, well, I'll take it. But you know, something happened back in 73 or 74, my first year as principal. Had a lady by the name of Tommy Carclew and John Ryan. And some of you will remember those names. And I'll never will forget Tommy Carclew stopping me in the hall of Aldine High School one day and said, Sonny, said, I know you've got an athletic background, but our math department needs to have a cheerleader in the front office. And that kind of stuck with me. We need to have a cheerleader for mathematics in the front office. We need to have a cheerleader for science. Gene taught physics and chemistry. And I never forgot that. I never forgot it. Well, we went on, and as you saw in the video, Bill and the Aldine Mustangs, when they played the state championship in 1989, now,
wore a pair of shoes, I could only get 3 socks because it was 6 degrees at Texas Stadium that day, but my left shoe had a hole in it, and the heat, the freezing temperature just came right up my foot, so we didn't do so well that game. It was my disappointment. Didn't treat us too kindly, but I believe if we would have played them on the dome, we would have cleaned their clocks. But the next year we did get Arlington Lamar, and we did win the state championship, and that's, I told Tommy and I told Gene, I said, we're going to play every day like it's a state championship for math and for chemistry and physics, just like those coaches did for football. And old Bill's been accomplished, and he's going to be inducted in the Texas High School Coaches Hall of Fame this summer, and so proud of that, not only for his accomplishments on the athletic field, but the number of coaches that have gone into teaching and coaching because of his tutelage. But then 1986, and Ross Perot, and showing that chicken all over West Texas so many times till it died, and all that business kind of changed education. And, we used to have teachers, when they retired, would show it was a collage, they said, they made $4,500 when they started teaching, and they made $5,200 and this and that. Well, it was a process over the years that if teachers are going to make any money at all, the business community is going to expect them to be accountable for student learning. And as educators, we knew that all along, but we didn't have the money in the system. So, you give and take some things, and the money began to flow in the system, and I'm so proud of our board. They would tell me, Sonny, we want our teachers to be paid #1 in the Houston area. And I understood that. You can't win the Super Bowl with first-round draft choices or free agents every year. And we can't give our students the education they deserve with, we've got to go after the very best. And if they're very best going to Iowa or to Kansas or to Germany or to Philippines, we could hire all the bilingual teachers that the state of Texas University has produced, and we still wouldn't have enough teachers for the rest of the state. So our personnel department, and I'm on my brain, it was went everywhere, and it was because the board said, that's what we need to do. And I never will forget Nadine coming in and said, we need to do something with our curriculum. I said, what do we need to do? He said, we're going to lock a bunch of teachers up over there in that resource center, and we're going to develop some curriculum on our leadership that's going to be an articulated curriculum from first to second to third to fourth, and we're going to give them lesson plans. Wouldn't it be great if we had that same mentality today with some of the people that we read about? We're going to go in the room, we're going to get it right, and we're not going to leave. And they did that. And Nadine was in charge of that, and our students were the benefactors, her and Wanda and Kay Massey. Long hours, extra hours. Great job. That kept my motor running to do the things that needed to be done. Running out into the community, selling bond issues, and we had such tremendous support from various people in the community, sponsoring the Chicken Club, an acronym for cool, honest, intelligent, clear-headed, keen, enthusiastic, and not interested in drugs. And it really recognized our teachers and their efforts. It really recognized our teachers in their efforts of bringing about not just academic growth, but also to support them, because we had a group of researchers come out from the University of Houston, and they did a study. We had 5,500 students that didn't have a male figure in their house. So something had to be done. Barry Wade, one of distinction, started a program for young men to teach them more than just reading, writing, and arithmetic, but how to interact with other people, and ladies of the ladies. St. Luke's United Methodist Church, a lady came out, and I tried to remember her name all day long, and somebody please help me. She's 90 years old. 90 years old, come out and put her time and effort into a program for Jackie Greer. Thank you, Nadine. Nadine's got a Jackie Greer. Thank you. A lady, wonderful lady, and she brought the money with her that caused the program to give a banquet, passing the forks, the salad, to teach the girls what fork to pick up, what to eat with.
I said, well, Jackie, that'll work, but I'm going to have to wrestle on that myself, because we're both from Lady, Texas. We're not, but one thing on the table, that was a fork, so. But I know, just to digress for just a second, because I see a person's face in the audience, Mr. Campbell brought me in and said, I want to introduce you to this guy. I said, okay. Marvin didn't mean anything to me. He said, he's going to be leaving, but he's got a fellow that he wants you to meet. I said, okay. So he introduced me to Terrell Palmer, who was the financial analyst for the district, financial director. And what that guy does is very important. He keeps us, when we have bond elections, that the tax rate is, we're able to meet it, and that we can go out to the community with confidence that our tax base will support such a bond issue. He said he's the best we've got, and he'll never lead you astray. And he hasn't, Terrell, and thank you very much, man. So then we got into a really serious building program. And they said, what are we going to do about that, Sonny? And I said, well, I think we've got a plan. We got a fellow on staff that taught woodshop back at Drew High School back in 1965. I knows a little bit about carpentry work and electricians. And he said, well, Mr. Thorne, when he built the toll road, not only was he with the college, but before he went to the college, he built Hardy Toll Road, and he built it on time and under budget. And I said, man, that sounds good. I don't remember that when I talked to Bill. I said, Bill, on time and under budget. Construction management. We didn't go out and pay somebody $70,000-$80,000 to come in and kind of manage our, because we didn't lose control of the construction aspect of the district. And I guarantee you, every school opened on time. It didn't sit vacant from January till September when school started, because that's money sitting there that you're not getting any benefit from. Now, I've been in some meetings with Bill where he's had to tell some people that, we're going to have 2,000 students in that school. You might be an electrician in there, but we're having school come September the 1st. And we'll open school on time. And the community buy-in and the community support, I see another fellow out there, Mario Lugo. Mario, the great friend, and I wish sometimes that he could speak to you about his background, because he came from Laredo, Texas. A loving one, but a pretty dire situation. And he would tell me about taking the popcorn home on Sunday night and having his mom making popcorn balls so he could take it to school on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Because he didn't want any of that free lunch business. He had too much pride about that, and that was just Mario. And then Mario got his degree from A&I Engineering and built a couple of companies up and sold them, and giving back to the communities, going in and talking to school students about engineering, going to colleges and talking about engineering. And I would bet you that guys like Mario and others around in this room that have met Seth Shaw, I saw Seth earlier. Where is Seth? Well, if we had been average or a little less than average, nobody wants to partner with somebody like that. You want somebody that's got fire in their belly. You want somebody that puts their big boy pants on every day and go out there. And those guys do that. And thank you, Mario, and thank you, Seth, for your work in the district and others that I've been introduced to longer, and I can't remember the names. But, that's what's good about the culture of this school that was created back in 1958 when we had the Highway Patrol and the Texas Rangers lined the boardroom. We're going to have school. And the people in the Aldine community said, yeah, we're going to have school, because the board didn't fund the budget. And it was that, I think it all began from right there, creating that culture that we want the best for our kids. And that's exactly what it's about. You mentioned my wife earlier, and Abel, thank you very much, because there's been times when I've just not introduced my best partner, but she's responsible for the learning of our two children, Mark and Kim, here in the front row, and their spouses, Michael and Leanne, and young grandson here, Marcus, and I really appreciate them being here tonight. And I had to have a servant's heart is really important. But there was a fellow in our staff said, we can't just have a pity party every day for our kids. We've got to push them. And he talked about SNAP, and I said, what is SNAP? You know, students needing a pat and a push. You don't just pat them on the back. You know, you feel sorry for somebody and you teach them 2 + 3 and it's 5, and they give you the answer 4. That doesn't help you a bit. But you extend them. You extend the learning so that when they get to a point in their life, they can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do because they've got the skills to do it. Not only with their brain, but also with their hands. And Franklin Higgins, many talks about career technology and the things that go in there. I had a fellow did a little work for me up in a little place we got up in industry, and he left me with a thought about life, and he was 65 years old, and I found him dead in the front room of his trailer. And he told me 2 or 3 weeks earlier, he said, you know, it's not what a man has that makes him happy, it's getting everything out of what he has that makes him happy. And I never will forget that. And that's something to pass on. Just like the main thing needs to be the main thing forever. And whether it's with, you go into the cafeteria and you can call your manager by their first name, or the front office and you see the secretary, you call them by their name, or you see the head custodians and you talk to them. It creates a culture and an organization that was so obvious by the school counselor, Wanda, when Channel 11 interviewed her when you had the people over at Emily Campbell Center that was there on her day off volunteering. And he said, well, it's your day off. Why are you here? I said, well, it's the thing to do. It's the thing to do. And she was there. So, the name may be Sonny Johnson in this building, but there's a lot of people responsible for that. And you know, we're not always successful 100% of the time, are we? Scott Hughes and I teach a class on Wednesday night over at Hightower Prison in Dayton, Texas. And I'm often asked, do you see any of your former students? And I do. There's 4 there. 2 of them I knew. But I've got another bite off the apple, a chance to make a difference. Thank you.
We often say the main thing is in my life, the main thing. But I think, Mr. Donaldson, Sonny, you've given us something else to say too, and what that gentleman shared with you about getting the most out of what you have, or appreciating what you have. And I want to say that that is what we plan to do with this building. We are so excited to have this opportunity and to be able to, and we're a part of your vision from many years ago, to have a facility that is state-of-the-art, there to provide more services for our staff and our community. And I do want to recognize some people who were a part of this process. And I'm going to start with Dr. Archie Branson. Now, why don't you stand up, Dr. Branson? I guess I could say this really wound up being your baby. You have done a great job, and he's got one put along the way, but he has really worked with us. And I also want to say, Patrick Newton, would you please stand? And all of the departments and buildings and property. And I also want to recognize our partners. I see our architects here tonight, Melina Walker, who helped us design this building. And so y'all can say hello, wave at us. And I also see Thompson Construction, who also assisted us with this fabulous facility. We want to say hello and welcome to them. And I just have to say, so many different departments have been a part of this. A great shout out for technology. They've done a tremendous job with all the work and all, in putting all this and training us over and over again how to use the telephone, things like that. I'm still struggling with that. But wonderful facilities that we really are going to appreciate everything that we have in this building. And we're going to honor the work of the past by using this and following the guidelines and the ethics and the work ethics the older way for the future. And I just want to say that I go places, I hear people make presentations and they talk about their fabulous family in their school district. And I always sit there and I listen and I go, oh, but that is not Aldine. Because Aldine has a family and I see so many of those people here tonight. And part of that family and part of that legacy and part of that leadership and part of that tradition that we have here in this room and in all the 70,000 students and the 76 buildings and facilities that we have. And so our pledge tonight as we accept this building, our board president accepted this building, is that we're going to continue that work and we're going to continue that legacy. Mr. Donaldson's legacy with his name on this building, and we are so proud to be able to carry that on in your stead. And I want to say on a lighter note that we're going to invite you back to have lunch in Sonny's Cafe. And something that we didn't do, I thought about it, and Dr. Branson and I talked about it, but you know, another thing, that there's the main thing, which would be your entree. But then there was another thing that Sonny talked about. Do you remember that? That the New Orleans saying? Lanyard. So we thought that we could put that over the cookies and over the extra things that we would have. The main serving line would be the main thing, and then we would have the lanyard. But anyway, we do have Sonny's Cafe on the aprons and things like that. But we just want to honor you and thank you for your service. And we are just so proud to put your name in this building and carry on your proud tradition in Aldine ISD. So I want to say to all of you how much we appreciate you being here to celebrate with us. And we want to invite you to come back and celebrate with us again. And I'll take you to lunch in Sonny's Cafe. But not all at once, okay? Anyway, thank you so much for visiting with us tonight. God bless you. And if you want to hang out for more opportunities, there's a board meeting at 7 o'clock.
Same places? No. I'm thinking we're just going to do it right here.
You already have this? Great. Great sign.
Real quick, I know you're about to get ready for a board meeting. I sent you an invite to a meeting for Tuesday afternoon for the communications team for NH. I didn't know if that's going to work with your schedule or not. Also, do you know when, is NH's schedule affected at all by the refugees that are there? We're concerned about commencement.
Oh no, we're scheduled for that.
Well, okay, all right.
There's certain events that were supposed to have happened.
I know.
They have to cancel.
I know. Okay. I just thought that was
Everything's booked. Everything we literally booked. Saturdays and Sundays.
I know. Okay. I just wanted to, I know you're trying to get ready for board. Thank you.
We'll see you there.
Let's go.
Hey, Tim. How are you, man? Oh, man. The last few minutes, it feels like it
I'm not.
That's what our philosophy This is like after hours, I think you use this to come in, and in the doors, they have some kind of monitor where you just scan it and it'll open. But on the way out, the gate opens by itself.
And Mr. Reese lived in his business business school? I don't know the building of business school.
Yeah, I don't know the design. There's a design that we put out, but there's I guess a regular design, and I need to show you one. So that way I can see if I want to read about see, and well, I forgot that we had it. Well, we could order them, but there was going to be a change in the design. But yeah, there's one that I think Mr. Briggs had. I don't know if there's a general template, but it had, it'll have your picture and the district information and your name and title. I think
This is sitting here.
That gets you into the gate.
On the gate? Yes, okay. Coming in. Going on, it opens up. Automatic. And then at the door.
Lord went and wrapped it. It's the signing board. For Mr. Donaldson, for him? Mr. Donaldson?
Oh, well, who's right there? Where's she going? Oh, give it to the wife, maybe? Oh, boy.
It was a signing book.
It's a signing book?
Yeah, she wrapped it.
I'm here to say drink.
I think so. I think we're good.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Good job. It's a good job.
Yeah, it's great.
So good to see you.
Good to see you.
I have you second.
It's got to come to right the first time, and you just get to so we can stay
Let's do it. So what I'll say is that you have two special recognitions. You have your flavor of month and then your special She's going to do her pleasure, and is that when you want to?
I want the bus drivers to be recognized.
Okay, so she's going to do two then. She's going to do employee of the month, and then she's going to follow that up with a special recognition.
Special recognition for our bus drivers, yes. Okay. All right. check on the pronunciation for our names.
Are y'all using this chocolate?
I got an idea.
Well, there's some signature to it. We have to stick on it. Okay, so, and this one also doesn't have access to the week if you come in and ask them what the way or what
I don't see the barcode. It has access to the grade.
Yeah, it doesn't need a barcode. I think it has something magnetic that it.
Oh, okay.
The barcode for us will be. Yes, so, and even on the doors, I think there's a thing on the outside that will open up when it comes after hours. Okay, great. Did you get a clear thing to do? This one is, I couldn't get it to work. Oh, good. This is good. Yeah. Did it get the coffee? How much time? We have 4 minutes. I'm going to go and see what you need. All right, I'll go with you. Okay. The only reason why I do this is just. This one's on the donation box. Oh, no, those are the older pictures. Then this one is for Saturday. This one here is for Saturday. This one for Saturday, the workshop. Okay. And then Miss Chapa did some editing, or not? I think this is on. Mrs. Ann did some revised numbers, just checked it.
We will order the little plastic mats so we can move around a little better. And yes, and a trash can. I think it's a good idea. I'm sure I need one.
Oh, so it's one of the trans we're doing that, says Mr. Shannon. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Attendance waiver for the Saturday board meeting, because it's not on the agenda, so we can't approve it tonight. And that's where we turn in a waiver because the attendance at one campus was 10% lower at the same date last year.
So I don't read that though.
No, you don't. I'm just going to mention, as soon as that vote is done, then I'll say, and if I could, President Avalos, we will also be sharing with you a low attendance waiver at the next board, at the Saturday board meeting. Okay, that says 6:59.
Merlin and Archie.
If we can grab them.
Yeah, I brought it because they had that line up there, and I didn't know we needed them out.
This is for Saturday, information for Saturday.
Okay, should I just leave it in here?
And this is budget, some numbers they revised from the student.
This good. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
Here it is.
Is this on?
a script, aren't you? All right, now I do. You got one? Yeah.
It is now 7 p.m. and I would like to call to order the April 26, 2016 business meeting of the Board of Trustees of the Alden Independent School District. Before we begin, we have the invocation by Dr. Garcia.
Please stand with me. Bless, O Lord, those assembled here tonight, especially those who provide guidance, direction, and assistance in the move to this exciting new facility, which adds to Aldine ISD's remarkable growth and history, especially over the last few decades. As we gather to celebrate the accomplishments and recognitions of our students, employees, and partners, bless the special guests and friends who were here earlier to celebrate the dedication of this building to former Superintendent Sonny B. Donaldson. We recognize his unwavering dedication and legacy to Aldine ISD. We are grateful as well to the accomplishments and the many years of dedicated service represented by those present here tonight. Thank you for the safety of our students and staff during the flood this past week. We thank you for the blessings of this day, and especially for the gifts and talents that you have bestowed on each and every one of us. Guide us as we continue to serve you and the Aldine community in the very best way that we can. Help us focus the decisions that we make on the children in Aldine so that they may be the direct beneficiaries of our work. May this small prayer bind us in your love and help us to serve you and each other, and especially in the Aldine students in our care. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Our ethics statement tonight will be read by Mr. Rick Ogden.
As part of the reform guidelines and action work that the board and leadership in the district have gone through, the board adopted an ethics statement that affirms our commitment to ethical conduct. That statement reads, the Board of Trustees is committed to and shall perform its duties ethically and according to our core beliefs. We will model the highest standards of conduct. We will ensure that no personal value system or personal goal interferes with our duty as public servants. The public interest shall be the principle which guides the board in its deliberations and decisions.
Thank you, sir. We extend a warm welcome to everyone that's present tonight. It would have been just fine if some of you could have come a little forward. I promise you that Dr. Blanton would not have harmed you in any way. It's just it's a lot more regular, so we're getting used to that. Very pleased that y'all could join us tonight as we celebrate the achievements, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operations of the Aldine School District. I'd like to thank everybody for taking their time, especially those that were here earlier for the dedication. Thank you for remaining for the meeting. Let the minutes reflect that all board members, with the exception of Mr. Paul Schaffler, are present. If you have comments for the board and have not filled out the audience participation form, and it's being held up by Ms. Yolanda Loretta, please fill out the participation form in the brochure and return it to her. The board will listen under item number 17 on the agenda, open forum for patrons desiring to be heard. Now have the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move that the correction of the minutes for the regular meeting on February the 9th and the minutes for the regular meeting on March 18th, 2016 be approved as printed.
Okay. Is there a second? I second. We'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Meade, yes.
Guzman, yes. Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Briggs, yes.
Okay.
We now have the presentation of the academic report by Dr. Sultan.
Good evening, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Branson, members of the board. You may break it. It's a long way up there. The Tommy Coon Awards nominations were announced March 22nd. The Carver Theater Department and the Kincaid School, nicknamed Carcade, collaborated on the production of Hairspray. Carcade received 7 nominations: Best Musical, Best Direction, Best Choreography, Best Musical Direction, Best Costumes, Best Stage Crew and Technical Execution, and Best Ensemble and Chorus. In addition, a Carver student, Jasmine Charles, was nominated for Best Featured Performer. The Tommy Coon Awards were held last week on Tuesday night. A woman announced them by herself because of all the flooding, and Carcade won the Tommy Coon for Best Choreography. Now, that book is an academic competition based on a list of 30 books. Working with a team coach, students prepare for this competition by reading and studying the 30 books during the school year. In doing so, they all experience some wonderful children's literature, improve their reading and comprehension skills, and learn how to work together as a team. This year, 18 schools participated in the kinder to second grade semifinals, and 26 schools were in the 3rd to 4th grade semifinals. Campuses advancing to the kinder to second grade finals were Cypress Wood, Conley, Carroll, Anderson, Dunn, Bessie, Johnson, McGraw, and Worsham. At the end of the kinder to second grade final competition, both Carroll Academy and Cypress Wood had a score of 24 out of a possible 25 points. After a tiebreaker round, Carroll students remained the first place winners. Cypress Wood came in second, Conley third, and McGraw 4th place. In the 3rd to 4th grade finals, there was Johnson, Worsham, Carroll, Bessie, Francis, and Harris. At the end of the 3rd to 4th grade competition, Carroll Academy again placed first. Second place went to Johnson Elementary, and 3rd place went to Bessie. The intermediate Land Book competition will be held on Tuesday, May the 24th. And the very first middle school competition will be held on Friday, May 27th. 2 students had their artwork selected to hang in the governor's business office at the Capitol for the next year. Cecilia Abbott, the First Lady of Texas, made the selections. This is a huge honor. Only 12 pieces are selected from 103 that are submitted, and we had 2 of those pieces. The Aldine artists are Jennifer Castillo, who's a junior at Carver, and Gabrielle Kitt, a pre-K student at Cajava EC Pre-K. These students will be honored at a reception later this summer. This concludes the academic report for April 2016.
Thank you, Dr. Simon. Ms. Bourgeois, do we have any correspondence to be read tonight? We have no correspondence to read tonight. Thank you. We now have the presentation of the program and the recognition of staff, students, and patrons by Mr. Abel Garza.
Good evening. Well, Dr. Manley, Dr. Benson, and members of the board. Tonight we have begun recognition with Emmett Rock, Executive Director of Building and Properties. He will present the Building of the Month. Emmett. Ms. Avalos, members of the board, Dr. Bamberg and Dr. Branson, it is my pleasure and congratulations on this building. It is beautiful. If I could have members from Aldine High School please join me at the podium, please. As they make their way to the stand, I would like to identify Gloria Levinson as the head custodian, and Gloria has 11 years of experience. Artie Herbert has 16 years, Sharon 14, and Jimmy is a new kid on the block with only 1 year of experience. But these are key people that open, close, and do different things for us at Aldine High School. So
Mr. Stewart, on behalf of the Office of Buildings and Properties, it is my pleasure to congratulate you for your leadership, Gloria for your supervision, and guys for your hard work and dedication on winning the Building of the Month. And the first one for the M.D. Donaldson Administration Bill. Congratulations.
Right on out.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to work our way through this and figure out how to take the best pictures. So we're going to the first round. Now, the Executive Director of Transportation, will answer the panels and employees of the month, and also have a special recognition.
Thank you, April. Good evening, Board President, Ms. Avalos, Dr. Bando, Dr. Branson, and honored members of the Board. It is with great pleasure that I have the honor to present the Employee of the Month for the first time in our own building. Our Employee of the Month for April is Ms. Cynthia Randall. Ms. Randall has been in the Transportation Department for over 20 years. She has excellent attendance. She does a great job, and all we hear from her students is how much they love her. She is also very well respected by the other bus drivers and members of our team in transportation. So at this time, we'd like to thank and honor Ms. Randall with her plaque. Thank you. We'd also like to honor some very special people that helped this past week with the flood. I received a phone call from Dr. Branson on Sunday afternoon saying, Robin, I am watching all of these people struggle and trying to carry their children and their belongings out of these apartments on television. Can I not see it? And I said, well, unfortunately, all of the electricity and internet is down at my home, and my cell phones were not working either. So I could not see all of it. So I got on the phone, and I called some of our drivers and said, could you please come and help? So at this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Charlie Williams, Mr. Delaware Bauer, Mr. Come on down, don't be shy, come on down, Mr. Garrison Figueroa, and Ms. Ramona Allen. They all came out and worked. They had to go at least 5 different times, attempt to get in and come back, pull back out with the buses. They tried to find another direction to get in, and then it must have taken them probably an hour and a half to work the buses down safely without getting them in water to get close enough. Then they had to get off the buses and walk into the area to get the people to come and get on the buses. While they were struggling, at first it was just the first 3 gentlemen working on it. And this young lady was working, helping just in the area at, were you at MOC or Greens Point?
I was in both.
She was just working, and she said, you know, I'm a wheelchair driver, and I see they're struggling trying to get the people that are in wheelchairs on the buses. Would you like me to go get my wheelchair bus and come and help? And it's like, yes, please. So she offered to do that, so we'd like to give them.
Thank you so much. That is a good example of what we feel like is the Arlene family, that we will help each other.
Thank you, Robin. Rob Van Sheffield, Executive Director of Child Nutrition Services, will announce our Team of the Month.
Good evening, President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Branson, and members of the board. Child Nutrition is very pleased to announce its Team of the Month for March, MacArthur 9th Grade School. They were nominated by their supervisor, Terry Littleton. This dynamite team has many qualities and achievements, which include outstanding leadership from veteran manager Noreen Bridges. And this is a real special evening for Noreen and her staff because she will be retiring at the end of this school year. She provides excellent communication to her staff by staying knowledgeable of the program policies and procedures and through her active participation with staff on a daily basis. As a team, they operate a very consistent cafeteria with good work productivity and excellent customer service. Cashiers typically know students by name and make an effort to provide personal communication to them daily during meal service. MAT 9 serves 53% of students in attendance for breakfast on a daily basis and 93% of students in attendance for lunch. They also provide evening meal service for students staying after school for extended learning. Char Nutrition contributes the high meal participation not only due to an outstanding staff, but also because of great support from Principal Diane Delgado and her staff. Congratulations to the March Team of the Month, which includes Marina Bridges and staff members, Graciela Hernandez, Irma Orlando, Gracie Castillo, Rita Cervantes, Janice Dimas, Sally Martinez, Rita Montes, Christina Manguilla, Linda Paris, Billy Paralysis, and Maria Reyes. Congratulations, MAT 9. Yeah. We're a large group.
That fed my daughter last year, and I don't know the ball of good, but I've tried to replicate the festival, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't like my version of it. Tonight also we have the Ogden Lacey Police Chief Craig Redlesky. He'll acknowledge the police department's employees of the quarter, including four labeled employees.
President Avalos, Dr. Bamber, Dr. Blanson, board members, thank you for having us tonight. I have to admit I'm a little bit nervous about bringing the dogs on Dr. Blanson's new carpet. So I'll make this quick. We hope we're not barking up the wrong tree. But we'd like to recognize the contributions the police dogs make to the safety of the students here at Aldine. I have here with me this evening Smart Fung and Officer Mike Gerald. They've been partners since 2012. And Ace and Officer Gus Adami, they've been partners since 2013. And I'd like to give credit where credit is due. By acknowledging up front that Captain Norby has had his paw prints all over this thing since the beginning. Started 5 years ago trying to bring a canine program to Aldine, and as you can see, he successfully has done that. And I can tell you they've done doggone good since then. Our canines immediately began to locate several types of narcotics on some of the school campuses, and our officers frequently seek the assistance of the canines to help them take a bite out of any drug problems they may be having on their own campuses. Ace also helped us define 3 handguns and remove those from our school zone. So he, as you can tell, they have the right nose for the job. Risk of slaughtering a little too much. We would also like to brag that Ace and Snafu conduct hundreds of campus checks and searches every year and helping to keep the students safe. They also participate in many student presentations, safety presentations that teach the students how to be safe themselves. And combined, they've received over 50 commendations, letters, and certificates of appreciation from students and teachers and administrators. The officers would also like y'all to know that the canines participate in the chicken club as well, and they think that's really something to bark about. Let me close with a quote. Our police dog, to honor our police dogs, they'd like you to know that to err is human, to forgive is canine. Where are the pictures? Okay.
Why don't you get up front up here?
No, they want to pose.
Up to the front? Yeah, go up to the front.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
The chief did a great job there. I think he's looking for a rail, but he's barking at the wrong tree. That fact is that. Finally, tonight, will be presented by Cynthia Brennan, Executive Director of Technology Services.
Try to follow that. That was a tough act. Good evening, President Atlas, members of the board, Dr. Bamberg and Dr. Blanson. This has been a real experience with all the technology that we have put in this building, and still tweaking a few things, as you can see. Cameras? Good? Okay. 2 months ago, Candace Moore showed you how technology has changed for student services. I invite you to see how technology has actually changed throughout the district. 16 years ago, we built our wide area network, which connected campuses and administration buildings to our backbone in the data center. And our private network was born, with a 1 gigabyte per second connection to the internet. 3 years ago, we increased our internet connection to 1.5 gigabytes per second and upgraded servers to handle a maximum of 10 gigabytes per second. Campuses had computer labs, but students were limited to the software that was loaded to the computers. And all desktops were hardwired in order to communicate to the internet and to servers in our data center. We had a few mobile devices, but they were limited to the apps that they were already loaded on them, because our wireless coverage was limited to the front office, library, and cafeteria. Our phone systems were analog systems with limited potential for growth. Sorry, Dr. Bamberg. Projectors were big and bulky with limited functionality other than to project from the device that was attached to it. In addition, bulbs were expensive to replace. Today, we have a public network along with our private network. The public network allows for students, staff, and visitors to bring their own technology devices into the district and have access to internet resources without access to the data on our private network. We increased our internet bandwidth to 10 gigabytes per second to support the demand for online applications and testing. We have upgraded servers and routers and will continue to upgrade the data center technology this summer to support a 100 gigabyte per second connection into the data center and to the internet. This year, with your support, we installed 1,900 wireless access points in the 9th grade and high school campuses, 4.35 million feet of network cable. That's approximately 820 miles. And state-of-the-art network equipment that can handle network traffic at 10 gigabytes per second.
Over 14,200 students at these 10 campuses now have wireless access throughout their campus and in covered areas outside of the campus. We have begun installing voice over IP phone systems, which provide better call quality, additional features, ease of adding phone lines, and reduced operating costs. The number of desktop computers remains steady, but the number of mobile devices has exceeded the number of desktops. Mobile devices provide a natural and seamless integration for technology into the classroom, where students are no longer required to go to a computer lab for instruction. 10 years ago, when we supported the building of our data center, we anticipated that by this point in time, we would have twice the space we currently have. But with the virtualization of servers, plus the advent of web-based software and cloud computing, such as Google Apps for Education and Schoology, we have reduced the number of servers in the data center and should not need to expand. Where are we going? Again, thanks for your support and the support of our taxpayers. We're going to install thousands more wireless access points and millions more feet of network cabling and state-of-the-art network equipment that can handle 10 gigabytes per second connections and greater in our middle schools, intermediate schools, elementary schools, and pre-K centers. We're going to meet the challenge of President Obama and the ConnectEd program and provide 1 gigabyte per second connectivity per 1,000 students, which means a 90 gigabyte per second connection to the internet. We're going to continue virtualizing servers in the data center, use more cloud computing, and acquire the best equipment to support the students and staff in the district and their technology needs. As we move forward with creating 21st century learning environments, we're going to create classrooms that are designed for collaborating by providing mobile devices, Chromebooks, tablets, or iPads, and interactive monitors, because our students today are growing up in a world where they learn best when they are active in their education, rather than sitting at a standard desk and using paper and pen. We will have 3D printers, which allow students to have a hands-on approach to science, technology, engineering, art, and math. We want to make sure that our students are able to have adventures outside of the brick and mortar of their school buildings. Google Expedition allows a student to take a virtual field trip to Washington, D.C., Spain, or even under the sea. It's so much fun to watch their amazement when they are seeing a shark swimming in front of them and then try and reach out and touch that shark. So how do we get there? Well, thanks to the 2015 bond referendum that was passed in November, we're getting financing to move forward on this road. We continue to have conversations with our stakeholders for valuable input on what is needed in the classroom. We work closely with the curriculum department to collaborate on ideas for integration of technology. It is very important that we provide professional development to our teachers, not just on how to use the technology, but how to appropriately integrate technology into their lessons. And just like everything we do in the district, we need to assess what is working and what is not working, because our ultimate goal is to produce the nation's best. All of this takes a team of hardworking people to accomplish, and I'm blessed to have a great team. I would like to introduce my directors standing back there. We got Dominic Tong, who has been practically living in this building to help with the technology here. Lynn Boy, can you guys stand? Director of Web Services, and Mike Vaughn, Director of Information Services. Again, thank you all for your support.
Madam President, President Gates, my report.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. The board has had the consent agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to the consent agenda items to be voted on by the board tonight? Do I hear a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
Madam President, I move that items A through T on the consent agenda be approved.
Is there a second?
Yes, Madam President, I second.
We'll begin the vote with Mr. Griggs.
Griggs, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes. Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
We now have a resolution for employee pay for the week of April the 18th, 2016. The board has received a resolution from the administration regarding employee pay for the week of April 18th, 2016, inclement weather days. The resolution states that employees who did not report to work due to the closure of schools will be paid for days missed. And it is also determined how employees who were requested to report to work will be compensated. We appreciate them for their time. A copy of the resolution is in your folders tonight, board members. Do I hear a motion regarding the resolution for employee pay during the week of April the 19th, 2016, due to inclement weather?
Ms. Avalos, I move that we accept the resolution for employee pay for the week of April 18, 2016, as presented.
Is there a second?
Ogden, second.
We'll begin the vote with Dr. Garcia.
Garcia, yes.
Mead, yes.
Bourgeois, yes. Avalos, yes.
Ogden, yes.
And Griggs, yes.
Recommendation of contract renewal for administrators and professional staff. Dr. Bamber.
Yes, ma'am, and if I could also point out that we will be bringing to the board at your special call meeting an attendance waiver for several of our campuses for Thursday and Friday of last week. But we'll be bringing that to the board since it's not on the agenda tonight. We have the recommendation of contract renewal. Board policy mandates that contracts for administrators and professional staff be considered by the Board of Education each year. It is my pleasure to recommend at this point the contract recommendations for the administrators and professional staff as discussed in executive session. These recommendations are for a 1-year probationary contract, 1-year contract, and 1-year extension. I recommend that they be approved.
Board members, you have heard the recommendation of the superintendent regarding the recommendation of contract renewal for administrators and professional staff. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move that we accept the recommendation of the superintendent regarding the recommendation of contract renewal for administrators and professional staff.
Is there a second? A second. We'll begin the vote with Mr. Griggs.
Griggs, yes.
Ogden, yes.
Avalos, yes. Bourgeois, yes.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
We are now at the portion of the meeting for a report of the administrative staff. Dr. Bamber, do you have any staff recognitions tonight?
Yes, ma'am, we have several. First, we would like to recognize Aristide Sibiday. Did I get that close? Very good. He is moving from his current position as the GAP liaison at the Aldine Education Center to assistant principal at the Aldine Education Center. He received his Bachelor of Science in 1999 and econometrics. Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to hear about that. And he received that at University of Bamako, Mali. I wanted to start it with an M. But he received that degree in 1999. He also received his Master of Education in Curriculum and Instruction in 2015 from Texas A&M University. And he has taught math in West Africa, in Mali, from 1999 to 2002, at the Central School for Industry, Commerce, and Administration. And then he came to the United States and came to Aldine, the best place in land. And he has been a GAP teacher at Lane in Aldine from 2004 through this particular school year, and now he's moving into an assistant principal's position. He has 13 years of experience, with 12 of those years in Aldine. And did you bring anyone to recognize tonight with you?
Yes, Dr. Bamber. I have my better half, Halimatu.
Welcome.
my son, Musa. And also on my left, my building principal, Black Guy, program director, Bridget Cook, and Principal Paulo, my mentor, and my ex-principal, Regina Moss.
And photographer. Congratulations on your new position. And welcome to all of you. Next, we want to recognize Melissa Lopez, who is moving in the current position as assistant principal assistant principal to a new assistant principal position at MacArthur High School. She graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in 2004 from University of Texas Pan America, and she also has a master's degree in educational leadership from the University of Pan American in December 2007. And she has experience beyond Aldine, where she was an avid teacher in Edinburgh, also an avid teacher in San Juan Alamo School District, the Dean of Instruction in Santa Rosa High School and Santa Rosa ISD, and also an assistant principal in Juarez Lincoln High School in La Jolla ISD. And then she's come to Aldine to be an assistant principal and as beginning with this school year. So she has 13 years of experience in education, and this will be her first experience in Aldine ISD. Welcome, and did you bring someone to introduce to us tonight?
Thank you. I just wanted to add also that I was an English teacher as well.
An English teacher? Yes, avid and English teacher. That's very important as a former English teacher myself. Very good.
My family wasn't able to come, but I am a proud mother of 3 boys. I do have a 20-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, and I have a 21-year-old. And with me here is also my principal, Dr. Molnix, and I just want to say thank you, not only to Dr. Molnix, but to the Aldine District for taking a chance on me and providing this opportunity for me to be able to make the transition in these schools. Thank you.
Very good. Welcome, and congratulations. And we also want to recognize Cheryl Davis, who is moving from her position as the interim principal at Dunn Elementary to the principal at Dunn Elementary. And she received her Bachelor of Science in Elementary Education in 1979 from Prairie View A&M, her Master of Science in Education in 1995 from Sam Houston State University, and she has experience beyond Aldine. She was a 2nd and 4th grade teacher in North Forest ISD, and she left there in 1989 and came to Aldine in 1989. She has taught at Johnson Elementary as a 1st grade teacher, a Chapter 1 teacher again at Johnson, a parent facilitator, and then beginning in 1995 moved to Dunn Elementary to serve as assistant principal, and since the beginning of this school year, 2016, calendar year, she has been serving as the interim principal. So Ms. Davis has 37 years in the field of education, with 27 of those years in Aldine. And I do believe you brought some people to introduce to us tonight.
Yes, Dr. Vandenberg. I have my support team. My support team is there, my encourager, my husband, my mother, my nieces, my sister, and my son on the end. That's my support team.
Very good. Welcome to your guest and congratulations, making it official. We also want to recognize tonight Mr. Everett Taylor, who is moving from his current position as principal at Irma Elementary to his new position as principal at Stovall Academy. Our principal, Everett Taylor, has a Bachelor of Science in Speech Communication from the University of Texas in 1995 and a Master in Educational Leadership from Prairie View A&M University in 1998. And he has experience beyond Aldine. There is some life out there beyond Aldine. But he started in 1996 in Port Arthur ISD as a teacher, and 1996 and 2000, the year 2000, he became an assistant principal and served there until 2002. But then came to Aldine ISD, and I might be getting out of order here, but came to Aldine to be a teacher and assistant principal in Conley in 2002, and then moved into Irma as the principal in 2008. And so he has 20 years of experience in the field of education, with 16 of those years in Aldine. And did you bring anyone to recognize with us tonight or introduce?
I'm honored to have my support team at Irma Elementary, my assistant principals,
my previous supervisors, Dr. Todd Davis and Ms. Amazon.
Very good. Congratulations, and thank you for making this move. And board members, you may recall that Ms. Schuler is moving to Greenspoint Elementary. And that concludes our recognitions of staff for tonight. Ms. Avalos.
Thank you, Dr. Bamberg. We are now at the portion of the meeting for board policy revisions. Mr. Mead, do we have any board policy revisions?
Madam President, we have no policy revisions or additions at this time.
Okay. Thank you. The chair knows of no unfinished business, and the chair knows of no new business or action items. We are now at the portion of the meeting that is the open forum for patrons desiring to be heard. This is the portion of the board meeting when the board receives input from patrons. Each person who addresses the board will have 3 minutes to speak on his or her issue. Because of topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, board members will not answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit those in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or an employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, please be aware that rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making any comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing, addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. Patrons addressing the board will be notified when their 3 minutes are up. I think that we have 3 requests to address the board. First, we have Don Thompson. You come to the podium, sir.
Good evening, all. President Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Branson. I come here with a heavy heart tonight. I'm the contractor that worked on this building. It has not been a fortunate project. I wanted to buy this building because my office is in London. I've got 40 years experience in construction. I have my own business. I'll be 20 years old next month. And in those 20 years, I built it from nothing, almost, to where I'm able to do $30 million a year, which is quite a personal accomplishment. My wife, Connie here, has helped me through all of that. My forte is estimating. I did schoolwork for other contractors because they didn't want to do it. They want to do a new shopping center, a new office building, something like that. Well, they gave me the schools to do because they didn't want to mess with it. So, okay, fine. So I made it my life to build schools, to renovate schools, to bring additions to schools. You have a big bond issue. I want to do the work for it. But unfortunately, I can't. I'm suffering a great loss on this building. It started with the estimate where there was an issue about data cable equipment. The loss, $695,000. So we started off in the hole. We went through 7 or 8 change orders. We went through a delay in the furniture being delivered. We started this job without an asbestos report. So there was delays. Now, I'm not paid, charged, and what you just got is another, looks like $800,000 worth of charges against us because we did not get through on the deadline of February 15th. That's all. There's conditions or things that happen when you renovate a school. And there's excuses for not being there, not finished by February 15th. I had asked for an extension of time and extended general conditions before February 15th, and I asked for an extension to March 25th. I was flat over mad because it wasn't what the specs required from May 15th. We finished this job, and the finished completion date was, the one in question was March 25th. What actually came about was March 29th. I missed it 4 days.
Mr. Thompson, if you will finish your thought because your 3 minutes are up.
Okay. I want to be treated fairly. I did a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to finish this job for you, and I just want fair treatment. That's all I ask for. Otherwise, enjoy the building, but I cannot suffer a $9.5 loss. Thank you.
Next, we have Carrie Patterson-Brown.
That big binder's yours. Good evening, Alden ISD Board, Madam President Avalos, Dr. Branson, and Dr. Bamberg. I appreciate you all for allowing me the opportunity to be able to come here today to speak with you about Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences. My name is Carrie Patterson-Brown, and I'm the founder of Legacy Collegiate Middle and High School for Careers in Health and Wellness. We are the sponsoring entity of Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences. So we'll call it Legacy from now. Legacy will be the first school in the state of Texas that will focus on the professions within athletics, the different professions within athletics. Legacy will promote 3 things, which is academics, athletics, and professions. So academically on our campus, when a kid goes in the 9th grade, they have the opportunity to begin taking college courses. And that's through a partnership with Lone Star Community College. We are proposing an early college program on our campus, along with their high school diploma, so the kids will get all that for free. Athletically on our campus, when a kid, all of the kids are trained from coaches that either play collegiately or professionally, are coached collegially or professionally. My background, I played basketball for Texas A&M, so I wanted to give you a whoop when you said it. I have a strong understanding, and I coached for 15 years as well, so I have a strong understanding of what it means to be an athlete in the classroom and on the court. And professionally, which is my favorite, when a kid goes in the 9th grade, they begin taking, they choose a major. So they go into either coaching, athletic administration, sports medicine, or sports media. Each one of those programs on our campus have been partnered with industry experts. In fact, we are making a program right now called Junior GMs. We're working with the Houston Astros to teach kids the pathway to become a general manager in a large sports organization. Our mindset is to tell kids or to teach kids that they are part of a $600 billion industry and be more than a player. I come to you today, I'm here today, because I am proposing that Legacy, the School of Sports Sciences, opens as an external charter under Aldine ISD. We have done all of the prep work to have the school open this fall. And when I say that, I mean we have 170 families that have committed to the school. We know our property. We have our backing, our financial backing. We have administrators. We have everything in place except a charter. So that's why I come to you today. I have provided a packet to you all that has an overview of the school, the narrative from our charter application, and a draft of an external MOU agreement. I also have a hard copy that I presented to Dr. Bamberg that gives the basically the whole, that has all the attachments and everything to it. I do plan, I am on your calendar for this month, but I just wanted to present the school concept to the board just so you can know what we're thinking. Okay. So again, my name is Carrie Patterson-Brown. I thank you for your time, and we are seeking to become an external charter of Aldine ISD. Thank you.
Thank you. The last one is, request is from Jennifer Hernandez.
I'm too short for this. Okay. Good evening, Madam President, Avalos, Dr. Bamberg, Dr. Flanson, and fellow members of the board. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, and I'm here today with Abigail Tierra Blanca and Jasmine Bloom. And on behalf of the cosmetology program at Alden High School, I come today to show the appreciation and give thanks for allowing the life-changing program to continue. From the bottom of our hearts, Alden's future cosmetologists, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do we hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
I can second.
The meeting is adjourned.
This one's for the history. This is my first time doing it. I'm going to do some research on it.
Let me make sure. Yeah, it's the Manila one. It's got an updated audit.
I'll do that.
And that thing that was written years ago, and I thought maybe some people hadn't seen it. Does everybody sign it?
Yes.
All signed it?
We turned this on.
Yolanda.
That's correct. That's Fisher.